we tend to talk about cancel culture often. Cancel culture. And we tend to make statements as though or not as though, but of we are against cancel culture. And I think that I generally do ascribe to the idea that I'm probably not pro cancel culture. And it's like in the way that it is levied as a weapon 9 times out of 10. Right. But even for me, I know that this was a journey of me even getting to that stance. I can remember there was a time where Kanye would jump off the ledge and say something. I'd be like, nah, I got to get him up out of there. I ain't about to listen to Ye for a little bit. There was times that I don't know, like Lil Wayne would be like, Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter, because my bitches matter. And I'm like, damn, you sound like a coon up there. I'm gonna go ahead and tap out of you right now. I'm gonna kind of like exit left, and this being like during the height of the political movement that was like the police killings, XYZ. I'm like, I don't know if that's like the thing that we need right now. Just like getting up on stage and cooning, and where I know that I have in the past exercised a bit of what one might say like stepping away or quote unquote canceling. But I know I've evolved to a space where I don't really do that. So I like to ask the first question would be, has there ever been anybody that you have for a period of time canceled and has did something egregious enough to where you would cancel them?
I can't remember offhand the last time I've canceled somebody because I've always I'm a big proponent of you got to separate the man from the art, and I think anything less than that it cheapens the actual meaning of what art is and true creation, true expression. Because your art is that's your creation. It's not who you are. It's not what you've done. It's not anything. So I cannot like what somebody said, but if you got a fire movie or a fire song or a fire thing, I can still think it's fire and not like what you have done as a person. And I don't understand why more people aren't like that. I don't understand why, like, if somebody does something wrong, we don't have to agree with what he does. I don't think listening to the music says I'm co-signing his actions, but the music is still the music. You can't act like this thing that he created isn't that thing just because you all of a sudden now don't like what he did. Kanye West could say whatever. College Dropout still one of the best albums of all time. Facts. I don't care what he says today. Yeah, that's still that thing. So I'm not. I try to separate the man, the woman, the person from the art, and I think that's as a a true consumer and fan of.
And you say, and you've always had this stance where you could always separate. So when you heard like somebody jump out the ledge, I think an example of like when Ye jumped out the ledge and a lot of people reacted would have been the slavery, and the slavery was a choice one, right? In which like later everybody unpacked it and understood a little bit more in better context what he meant. But at that moment, that was like one of those things where he was dropping an album, he was doing shock promotion, he was saying things as though like slavery's a choice, blah 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 blah. Like the whole, I think he did the White Lives Matter thing during that frame time as well. You are easy, like you've always been easy to be able to separate an artist and what they're saying from their music, or you I guess that's what I'm asking. You've always been able to do that well.
Back then, like or whenever that, I forgot what album he was promoting when he did that, but
it was the one with him and Cudi.
It wasn't my favorite Kanye album, so I mean, like, I'm not gonna listen to your album just because you do a publicity stunt like that. I'm not. I don't think that's cancel culture, but if I see that, to me, I'm like, oh, there's obviously not a lot of merit to the music if you got to go and do this. So I wouldn't say I canceled him, but also didn't go back and I didn't stop listening to College Dropout or Late Registration just because he did something stupid. It didn't make me like them any less. It's just I don't agree with what you're saying now. I think that's dumb as fuck and probably gonna make me not listen to your music, this new album, unless I hear something that makes me sonically that makes me want to listen to it. But the other shit's cool with me still. You know, they ain't changing the other shit.
Gotcha. Real. So has there ever been a moment in time from here backwards that you have cancel. I know that you're. I mean, it sounds like you're probably a proponent of not being for cancel culture.
Yeah.
But is that something that you grew into, or you've always had a stance in which you've always said, "I'll separate this politician in these words, or I'll separate the artist in this word, this entertainer in these words, this athlete in these words"?
The closest thing for me was when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. To me, that was some bitch ass nigga shit. And so I don't stand on that type of behavior, and I don't appreciate it. So, but Will Smith's my favorite actor.
Okay,
you know what I mean. And but the thing is, for me, like y'all know, I don't follow any famous people on social media. So it's not my cancel means nothing. Like it doesn't. It's not like it's really an effort to actually do a thing.
You was already canceled.
Yeah, I don't care much for like famous people to begin with. So like I don't care what you think about. If your music fire, that's like when they came out and said Rick Ross was the PO. I didn't give a shit. Because him being a PO or not didn't contribute anything to my life. But the music, I like listening to the music. So I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't really get so into them. I don't really care nothing about them like that. Even like J. Cole. You know J. Cole's my favorite rapper. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's married. I don't know if he has kids. Like, I don't know. I don't care about their personal lives and what they think about things. If your music's fine, I'm gonna listen to the music, and I definitely separate that because I don't really care about you in real life. I actually don't care.
Got you. So I guess moving the conversation a little forward. So is there a thing that a person can do that will put you in a space where you avoid them, you will cancel them, you will not listen to them? Is there something in any more, like if we say in any more respect, that a person can do that will make you dissociate yourself from them in general, quote unquote, cancel them?
I got it's maybe a little different example, but I was just thinking back, and there was a time where I personally canceled. It was a restaurant. I'm from, I went to school in Columbia.
Oh yeah, and canceling establishments. That is another version.
I did the NFL for sure.
Maurice's.
We getting there. There we go. We
started unpacking. That's when you start establishment. That makes it different than the actual individual.
So like it was Maurice's barbecue, and bro was like heavy on the racism, Confederate flags at the shops. He had booklets about slavery and all that, and like would stand on that. Like, I'm not taking it down. This is how I feel.
You ate there?
Before I realized, and then, but a lot of people didn't know. Like, it was a popular spot. It was like one of the spots. But then when people found out, I don't think there's any more left. Like I know the one in Rock Hill shut down, and so he has been canceled by people. So I agree with. I can cancel like a show, like a restaurant, like even the NFL or the NBA. Like, I can cancel certain shit like that. Hell, the Panthers, if they ain't win today, they was about to get canceled.
Right. Bro, you know the craziest thing, which, like I said, I don't really get so absorbed in a singular thing like that. So like when I like the closest thing to me canceling was the NFL, right? The Kaepernick thing. But see, like I said, mine don't really count because it didn't take nothing for me not to watch it anymore because I didn't really watch it to begin with.
And you because we weren't going to games.
So like
not really taking nothing out their pocket.
Oh, and another one, that store. What's the jersey store in North Lake? The joint that got the jerseys and all of the helmets and all that stuff. Either way, if you don't know it,
I know what you're talking about.
When he told me that they canceled the Kaepernick jersey, that they don't sell it at all. When he kneeled, they just stopped selling it all together. And I was like, yeah, well, ain't no need for me to come back in here. Like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So that's one that I did. But then I don't buy jerseys and shit like that either. You know what I mean? So like, my cancel really doesn't mean anything to anybody because I don't really like.
But that's about the most I'll do is I'll avoid business if I don't agree with the corporate statement or what ownership is doing. I cannot patronize your business. I don't know if that counts the same as like canceling.
But see, an individual, and see, my thing is as an individual,
because
let me just say this real quick. When you talk about individuals, people are just so multifaceted. Like, you can listen to Kanye say one thing and be like, no, I don't agree with that. Then he say something else you can agree with. So like, you canceling somebody, like, I don't believe in that because I just disagree with that you believe that. I just disagree with that belief. I stand strong on this thing, but I ain't gonna just never like it's not that I'm avoiding listening to a Kanye because he said slavery was a choice. Like, you know what I mean? I would still listen to something that he had to say, just because like I don't cancel people based on me not having the same opinion as they do.
Right.
Like that right there, that's kind of stupid.
But could a person have a opinion that will void you from fucking with them? Let's say they went full on white supremacists.
Oh yeah. No.
Like you talking about just like a personal friend that I know, like just somebody,
no, like anybody,
or just a celebrity.
Yeah, like
but let's say I can boot their easily.
Let's
bro.
say if what happened if but that's kind of like the idea of like, all right, I'm gonna cancel that out. What if Jack Harlow went full white supremacist? You found out he was a part of the Proud Boys. He got that swastika big tattoo on his back. Are you canceling him from anything inside your whatchamacallit?
You like Jack Harlow?
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. That's the jam.
Yeah, nice Bob though.
That's the way.
I had to hear that.
I'm vanilla, baby. Hey, that is the Caucasian white man's new anthem.
Right now.
That is their anthem right now.
Oh, vanilla, baby.
That is the number one rap song right now. The most popular rap song. Imagine that. Right now,
you
the
saying
most
for real? Like
no, this is the most popular.
When did it come out?
I don't know, like a month or two ago. Yeah.
Like Thanksgiving.
It's new. Just imagine that.
That the white guy makes the number one hip hop record.
Yeah. And that's the worst cultural effect. Never mind. We'll get to that next week.
I think that says a lot about the music still.
Oh no, but those are different conversations.
Okay,
like I said,
let's save that for next week.
I don't want to get like when we get into it next week. My conversation won't be about quality of music. It's just going to be about content.
We ain't got to go. We can talk about.
But all right, so we're in cancel culture real quick. Before we move on, let's read a little bit of the comments and then we'll pick back up.
Alvin said, I just wanted to know if y'all thought it was possible to change the narrative, or is it too late?
Oh, you talking about OnlyFans?
Oh,
probably too
late. It's too late. If you want the OnlyFans, we probably think it's smut. It's smut work on there probably behind the paywall, and then it's what it is. I don't know unless y'all feel different.
I think there ain't nobody.
Because they got too many other different, you know what I mean, different services. If you try to do something else, they have too many other platforms to do.
Actually, I think this is a good question. So we do have we have a guest engineer, and you are inside a different age bracket than us. Is there like a quote unquote stain on the eye? Do you think that there is a possible narrative change that could happen with OnlyFans? Like you're out of our age group. Like we're naturally going to be more conservative than you. So I'd love to hear from like a freshly out of college, more open-minded opinion. What's up?
Yeah, I think that it can be a different narrative approach depending on how they go about it and the marketing of it. So everything is marketable nowadays. So if you can change the marketing value of how you produce yourself or how you go about it.
But do you think that most people, like if you say I have an OnlyFans, no matter what's on it, do you think that people will still think that you're doing sex work on there?
Of course, they'll think that.
But you think that like you can make it like upscale sex work?
Like it just depends on how you branch out, or like it depends on the niche group of people that would take over and change it, because it all depends on how people go in and go about changing the system of it.
Could you give me? Okay, I'm about to say, give me an example.
Let's say people use it like how you do Twitch stream, or like you use how you're doing like your podcast right now. Mm-hmm. You're just taking your OnlyFans, but you're giving exclusive content.
Like you're using it for what it was supposed to be used for.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you just take that content and use it like that, then yes, I feel like you can change it. It just depends on how you go about it, but it'll be very hard because the whole process of OnlyFans is now just sex work, basically. Mm. So it's just the whole taking it down and just building it back up to make it more.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be too hard. I think you might as well go ahead and go to Fansly or one of them other things.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Like, and then it's too lucrative for them
Patreon.
to ever. Why would they? They're not going to switch it. You know what I mean? They're in the money game.
Twitch. Damn, this is actually breaking news. Twitch is allowing nudity on their platform.
And Twitch is the thing for games, right?
Yeah, well, it's games, but it's just a really big.
They said
platform.
something about artful expression. They didn't say like you can't be up there.
He said like, hey, you remember the?
Well, no, that's what it has to be classy. I read it. It has to. You can't be up there.
What does that mean, Johnny? So
it's the same thing that woke. You remember woke started to get your titties out.
Yeah,
free the nip.
Free the nip. You know how many times I went to like an event and it was just naked women walking around, but it was alright because they had body paint on.
Yeah,
that was like a beautiful time to be alive. Bro.
Man, that was super. It's funny how woke has like since we.
Yeah, that's why I always refer to the time. You got to put time on.
And then now it's like crazy what they've done to it.
Mm-hmm.
It started out like real.
Oh yeah, we was
liberating.
You know what I mean?
And now it's just like so trash now.
It used to be conservative, like it was right wing conservative.
I wouldn't say it was right. I just agreed when you said it last night too. My bad. I ain't gonna step on you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, fuck it. I'll say it again.
He said step on you too. You can't let a nigga talk like he got damn.
But I didn't want to step on his point. He was about to make a point. So I wanted to make
I think from like who was the first people like Tariq Nasheed and like some of those first people that really got us into like the woke culture. Those are people maybe not right wing.
Those weren't like specifically the people. Like Hidden Colors was a good
that
launching
was one of the
point,
starts
but
of your
I think
wokeness.
that a lot of it to me was like whether you went like ancestry, when you got into the pyramids, you got into like the idea of like the antithesis of religion, where it came from. Open up your minds to like the different conspiracies or perspectives that came with that. You got into like understanding Black people in this the full frame of institutional racism, XYZ. You get into like just real history of Black people in the diaspora over the past, I don't know, like 2,000 years, and what that really looked like. It wasn't specifically like a person. Like it was, I never thought it was like a leader of the woke community.
No, it wasn't a leader, but it was. I think that like what he's saying is like Tariq Nasheed and Hidden Colors was almost like it was like almost what you would call it.
It was
like
one of the things that helped
your
push
initiation. Like when you got like a lot. Like for me, that was my initiation.
I mean,
into like the ideas, and that's what started to make me branch my ideas. It started there though.
But that to me, that was more of a combination. It's like I've been thinking these things. He was the first person that kind of
spelled what it felt like to me.
Spelled it all out. But what
I guess I was around all those all the notable woke niggas. So like it was like it was just like it was such a different little space where a lot of that ends up going into like chakra world. It goes into like
true. Like the chakra world was definitely one of those initial woke things. That was part of the
like it's a lot of those little spaces. Just the cultural diversity that pushed away from like a lot of like the mainstream ways of looking at it and listening to, I guess, like what you would call like a purely white narrative of history and our place inside the socioeconomic and societal places.
Black think people. Of how it got, and then we're gonna continue where we were, but it's crazy to think of where we were with it and how it got to here where it is.
Yeah, well, it became extremely inclusive. But
I guess we can. What we said. That's what we said. The inclusivity of it is what.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, it stopped being as much about like a
Black
seek
people.
For information, because a lot of it comes from being woke. A lot of it just basically comes from the idea of being sleep. It's what fuck. All right, so a lot of the woke shit comes from 5%er ideology in itself. Where there's the dumb, deaf, and blind, there's the 5%ers that are actually woke and aware, and most people are. I think 85% of people are just going as is. They're being sheep. They're being led. They're not thinking. But when you have an awakening, like you start realizing what the world is and the things that are around us, and what's happening. Yeah. We can keep going through these comments.
All right. So I'm gonna go with this comment and then I'm gonna go back. So at least it got ran up with the dope content. It wasn't originally made for that, but that's what it is now.
I didn't know that it wasn't made for that.
No, it wasn't actually a reason.
Oh no, it was like so that famous people couldn't interact with their fans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then it went crazy.
I wonder who like came up with
I
that.
wonder
I
who
would just
popped the
start
first-
showing ass.
I wonder who was the first person to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This bro was innovative to the sun, bitch.
Bad Bobby. That's who did it first. Nah, I'm joking. I don't know.
And it says, yes, I cancel nobody because if we didn't cancel Elvis, we can't cancel anyone because Elvis didn't get canceled and he bought and brought his wife from another continent, I guess.
I don't listen to Elvis. I think I have effectively canceled Elvis, to be honest.
Yeah, Elvis' wife was 13, 15 years old. He brought her over to the States.
Nasty work.
And she lived a couple houses down from him.
It's another one of them little famous guys that my bad, go ahead.
You go ahead. Okay.
Another one of those famous that I think he ended up marrying his step. He says it.
Yeah, they canceled Jerry Lee Lewis because he married his 13-year-old cousin.
Oh yeah.
And Jerry Lee Lewis did one step.
Oh no, it was a different one than that one. There's a guy. He's still a guy inside Hollywood right now, but he had an adopted kid that he raised.
Yes.
And then he ended up marrying that person.
That's
nasty work too. It's a lot of nasty work that be out
but
here.
that's what he's an actor.
He's
an actual he's a big actor. And he literally raised, and she was from another country.
Yep.
He adopted her brother over from another country, raised her, and then married her.
Nasty work.
Bro need to go to jail.
Yeah, because like, what was you doing the whole time while she was? You know what I mean?
Woody Allen.
There we go. That's who it was. So I guess like if we dive back into it really quickly, maybe to put a bow. So what I did get from y'all is that for y'all, it is like y'all are willing to cancel institutions a lot more than institutions and organizations a lot more than individuals.
For me personally.
Personally, yeah.
Okay. And individually, there's really not a thing that a person can do. Is it like an action that a person can do that will cancel their music, their movies, their entertainment? If I was to throw out on a ledge,
what if bad music? You ain't gonna listen to.
What about if they have? What if they are like? Let's go with that.
So, see, the thing is for me is that like, and that's when you initially ask the question, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
What if they went and we're going out? We're on the ledge right now. This is like I forget the name of that movie, Juice. We on the ledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hank and Tupac. No, y'all know the reference. But there's a famous artist. I'm not even gonna give a name, because famous artist, and he is now caught on tape molesting a young boy, and he did like it then comes out that he has like a ring of young boys that he is trafficking. Is this somebody that you would still be able to listen to their music?
I mean, the thing is first off, it would be easy for me to say no. Right? Mm-hmm. First off, it would be easy for me to say no. But also with the if he's
and I'm making it extreme, and then we can walk it back the other way.
Because the thing is, this is why I have to be. I'm actually being honest with. I'm like being as honest as I can, because R. Kelly is still to me the greatest R&B artist ever. So I'll still listen to The World's Greatest. It's my favorite, most favorite song. Period. I will be a hypocrite to try to jump like, because if he was as great as R. Kelly, I don't know. I can't really sit here and be honest. You know what I mean? Because like I said,
so this tends to be a way that people compartmentalize R. Kelly. So I ask you if you compartmentalize as well, or if you just believe everything that he was accused of that he did. Do you compartmentalize an idea of like, I don't know if he was sleeping with underage girls, but the things that he's accused of now are things with overage girls that were consenting. And it's more about control.
If I can be completely honest, I didn't follow enough of the thing. I only ain't dig into figure out whether.
Okay, so for you, it's better to be a little more ignorant of the facts because it might make you feel away.
Because that's his personal. I like his music. I completely take. You know what I mean? I don't care about him as an individual. I like his music. So like, that's something completely separate.
But so if I was to say again, this is going extreme, and then we can walk it back the other way. This is intentionally extreme just to see boundaries. And if there are boundaries or not boundaries, say if it did come out full documentation that R. Kelly had a ring of middle school girls that he was trafficking, and he has videotapes of molestation.
Yeah, nah,
would you still be able to?
Nah, I mean,
like if it was actually verified, but if it's vague and it's just an accusation, there's wiggle room to be able to.
So if it was something that I actually looked into and researched, and I sat there and be like, I am confident that this man is a monster.
Yeah.
I couldn't affiliate. You know what I mean? I would pretty much.
But if so, in more or less, it's like unproven and accusatory like accusations. If there's a vagueness to it, there's a wiggle room to where I can compartmentalize it and still.
I don't know, bro. World's Greatest.
But I mean, a lot of people like it's
song, bro.
I think we all do it.
Know. I don't know. That's this. I mean, in reality, for me, it's just a different one. It's the tough one because it's still my most favorite R&B song.
Yeah.
Period. So like, I couldn't sit here and be like, oh, if I found out and seen the tapes and that I never listened to World's Greatest again in my life. That it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? So I can't sit here and be like, I would cancel that when there's nothing else that does that for me. You know what I mean? That same thing. There's not another song that does that for me. So I can't say. I don't know, bro. It's a good.
Oh no, like to me, this is a good thought exercise in itself.
Sure.
Where I don't know, Johnny. How do you feel? If R. Kelly was accused of those things and it was verified, could you still let it ride?
You saw that it was verified, so it's without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, I probably wouldn't listen to any of his new stuff, but I mean, the old stuff,
it's still cool.
It's still old stuff. Like,
it's good.
It's still good. Like, it did the music get any worse because he did that? No, it's still the music.
So it's still a monster though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's still a monster. You know what I mean? And I don't fuck with him as a person.
I wouldn't go to R. Kelly's show or I wouldn't like buy any new stuff from him. But like, are you telling me I gotta stop liking "I Believe I Can Fly"?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that's a great song. Like I don't care. Like it just still sounds good to me. So I don't see.
And I think that we should. I think that it's almost like. Do you think that we should have that in us to where it's like a monk commits an atrocity, and do you think that it's something that individuals should be able to do?
I don't know. Like I'm not. I don't specifically have a strong opinion on this, and I kind of sit in the middle because I know that I exercise compartmentalization as well. Like, so if I like Michael Jackson, I'll still listen to Michael Jackson. He is accused, and my compartmentalization is the fact that he hasn't been proven guilty of any of those things. And there's like, theories around why he did that and all these things. So to me, the moment I did find out it was proven and it did happen, I probably step aside from it.
And I think, that's the thing. We shouldn't have that level of attachment. Like what me and Johnny sitting here saying, I shouldn't have that level of attachment to the song or to just the catalog. Like if he stands for things that I don't stand for, and I know, and you know what I mean? That to me, it seems as though you should be able to detach.
Right. And that's a bit of where I'm at, where, like I said, I know at first I was like I said, I was on the quick little cancel train. Then I realized I don't really stand for that. And so I went all the way to the other side where I was like, F cancel culture XYZ. But I know that I probably sit a little bit closer somewhere in the middle where most things I want to hear everything out in full. But there are some things that if I was being real and honest, morally, I probably will it will put me I can't digest it if it comes from somebody that I really don't agree with, things that they have done. And that's it. That's where I'm at. And I don't know if that makes me a canceler or not a canceler, whatever. But I do think that there's specific things that, if proven, I probably can't fuck with that person anymore.
Yeah.
Whether I like them or don't like them, and
it's different. Like that's like if I found out, I ain't gonna say nobody's name. Like if I found out my homie was messing with some little girls, like your ass is done.
Yeah, we can't be friends.
Yeah, we cannot be home. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's just done. Period.
And I don't think that just because
So then why? I think that's
that's what I'm saying.
Because we're saying we will X off a literal person that we have a real relationship with. But somebody that we don't, or a product that we don't actually have any real connection with, we won't. And I think it's an interesting space.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was saying. Like there should be, you shouldn't be attached, because at the end of the day, if you was my best friend and I found out that you was doing that, bro, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. So you know what I mean? So there's a level of attachment that I'm just willing to just do away with. And I guess it's because I don't feel that it's it's almost that right there. I feel like that's disrespectful for me to be. You know what I mean? It's disrespectful for you to be. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Attached to you in any way.
It's too personal.
Mm-hmm.
And that right to me, it's like it feels a lot less harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like I don't know this nigga is just listening to the music. I don't know, bro. It's a great question. Something to kind of think further into and see where you really stand at on it.
Yeah. All right. I guess we could read a couple more of the commentary.
All right. So starting off, we had to cancel Doja because them dang demons.
Oh yeah,
no, I'll cancel somebody for some demon shit though, for real. Some Satan worship type of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I'm not with the demons, bro. I'm not with the you go up front and just let me know you like praise Satan, bro. I'm not going, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going. I'm not going. So yeah, I agree with you. Is that we say Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia. And then we have I can be almost 100% on thinking about the artists that you are talking about because I guess they aren't speaking of does it make music. He does make music, so yes, cancel his bum butt.
I wonder what artist is he talking about. Look at your phone mirror. I guess go to let's go to the next one.
All right. Next one is you will listen to someone's music that was touching kids because it's still a great song.
Oh, you got smoke for this, Johnny?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. And like,
okay.
I mean, initially I was on the thing where I probably would have still listened to the song. But I mean, what you said about not being able to digest it if I really don't mess with something they did, I get that kind of stuck with me. But I mean, I still separate man and person from the art. So just because I'm listening to the music don't mean I'm co-signing or like saying I agree with anything the person does. But there is a space or there is certain things where it can be too bad for you to even like digest and it's even.
It's funny, bro, because it's like
sense.
This is one of those like the right answer is you cancel their ass. You know what I mean? You find out them niggas doing some stuff like that, you cancel them. That's the right answer, and it sounds good. You know what I mean? But do people actually just have that in them to make that decision?
Yeah,
especially when it's not like somebody that's like really tied to you. So nothing that I represent. You know what I mean? I'm just listening to the song. Like it's
it feels victimless.
Yeah, it feels exactly. That's exactly what it is. It feels victimless. And so, but I mean, I agree with what she's saying, though. The right answer should be that as culture, I think that we shouldn't stand for it and we should let it go. You know what I mean? If you start doing some crazy stuff as a culture, and I'm a big accountability guy. Yeah. So it's like at this point now, I'm probably gonna have to move a little different on it. You know what I mean? Because I definitely believe that accountability is what our culture needs to be pushed forward. So if I'm not, and I'm a big accountability person, so if I'm not actually implementing that in my personal, then how can I expect for us to do it as a people? Yeah, no, that was a great question, bro. I appreciate.
I think we got another comment, and then I'll try and wrap it up.
Alrighty, it says. For years, I thought that MJ was wrong until I found out that the industry blackballed him because he owned the Beatles catalog and Sony Records.
Right, and that's why I said like it's so much compartmentalizing. Like when things are vague enough, to me, it makes it so much easier to compartmentalize and be like, maybe. As long as there's a maybe in there, it's a thing that you can you can compartmentalize. But if I was to go and speak more directly to it. Again, I didn't come into this conversation specifically with my mind made up. Shout out to my pops. My pops is actually the one that gave me the question. And
shout out, Mr. Mike.
And because he posed it as the question that stated more or less has like I like to hear, have you ever actually found yourself canceling somebody? And not necessarily like the easy thing is like, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? And everybody's going to regurgitate the same thing that
right. Right answer.
Yeah. F cancel culture. You know what I mean? But when you think about have you did that before, because then you have to humanize the opinion, and it's not like what do I dogmatically stand for right now. It's more so have I? And then when you sit and you go through the line, like I said, I had to sit and think, do I really stand for not canceling somebody, or am I getting caught up inside like something that I've heard enough and sounds cool enough for me to say? And like I said, I ended up moving more towards the middle, where like I will not cancel Candace Owens. I think that as egregious as some of the things might sound, you listen to her in full format.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and most people that you hear, they, especially if it triggers you, it's if you hear them in long format, you can kind of understand. Charleston White's another good version of this, right? Truth. Where like initially you want to cancel, but then if you are fair enough, you want to at least listen to it in full format, and then that's when you see the full aspects of a human. Yeah. You're like, okay, all right, I get. I might not agree with how you're approaching this, but
how you got there, it's like I may not agree with the final the point that you're making, like your actual stance, but how you got there, I can see how you got to where you are, and you're not just an asshole or a dummy. You know what I mean? I can see how you put that together, and that's why that's how I feel as well. Like when it comes down to your Dr. Umar, you know what I mean? People that just say these really cringy things, and we just got I'm not with it. But yeah, that was a great.
And I don't know. Because me and my boy, you know, Trey, when we get to talking about cancel culture, this is something that always comes up. I want to throw this out to y'all. How do you feel about discrimination in cancel culture? About like certain people doing something and getting canceled, and then if you go back, like even like what Uncle's saying, there's certain people who did stuff that didn't get canceled, and it's like sometimes that makes me question, why are we canceling certain people? Because if like Elvis Presley is
but that's such a different time though as well.
But you also got to think, like, when was the last like white person that got canceled?
Motherfucking Woody Allen ain't canceled.
They don't actually participate in that shit like that.
They do a little bit. Like
who was the last one that got canceled?
What's like it be them they'll be trying to get them white comedians out.
Matt Rife.
Yeah, they was just trying to get
something about
just
trying to get.
But what's the old white dude that
was it some LBGT stuff that he said?
Nah, it was
it was a domestic joke.
Yeah. But what's cause that? Matter of fact, I think some of the people that actually did get canceled are white men, older white men. No, it wasn't Bill Burr, but it was one of them old white men, old bald white men that was masturbating when women came to his hotel room.
I
can't remember his name. Yeah. But they got him out the paint. He ended up having to like start using like auxiliary sites to put his comedy specials on because of nobody would actually, like pay for shit.
That's tough.
And like who else? There is Epstein. Epstein got up out the paint. That whole thing.
But is that cancel? What do you mean?
No, cancel culture got like he
exactly.
You say what?
He got eliminated.
His ass.
Oh, you're not. They literally eliminated. Yeah, they ain't just canceled. They eliminated them. But the push came from the Me Too movement. Like that Epstein Island shit. That was during that framing.
And that was nothing but like white girls too. It was all, like, so on that video, like that movie, it was nothing but white.
Yeah, girls. They have gotten some of them white. Is it really been black people that's gotten canceled? I guess right now they're trying to cancel Diddy and shit, but.
The Baby,
Kanye
West, Kyrie.
Oh, no, they did try, but we always bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, what it is,
the boys back.
We just try.
The boys bounce back.
We try, but it don't work. It don't work as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Baby.
If you got a wicked jump,
the Baby just had all the kids doing this. Whatever that little song was. I don't know. Then it's Dance to the Knees. Then it's Dance to the Knees. Whatever that shit
trash.
Was.
Yeah, that was about food. I ain't hate it.
All right, I guess it's a good place to wrap this one up. Royal, who's next?
I got Johnny Good.
For my topic, I think I'm gonna go with.
Ooh, I forgot about Pee Wee Herman.
And
got him. He was another wild bull in the back of the movie theater. Nasty work.
Booked him too.
Yeah, that's crazy because I never knew that Pee Wee Herman was a real person. I thought that was always like
you ain't talking about till today, right?
No, I know he's not real. Okay. I'm talking about growing up. I thought he was just a character. I didn't know he was the actual
like he was a drawing. Like he was actually just
like I didn't know that was his real name. I thought that was just a character they played.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Huh?
His name is really Pee Wee Herman.
I don't know what Johnny's talking about.
All right,
let's move on to your next question, Johnny.
Well, I was trying to, and then the comment came up here. It got me all out of order. The comment came up.